Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your April 2021 reading. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you're not sure of your Sun, Moon, and Rising, I left a link in the description box below for how you can find that information. I use astrocharts.com for that. Just a very handy site. So this is for the month of April, and one of the things we want to think about for the month of April is the Aries New Moon coming up on April 11th. So Aries is the beginning of the zodiac cycle, and new moons bring in fresh new energy. So it's sort of like having a new year and setting resolutions. A lot of people like to use the Aries New Moon as a time to set some really strong intentions and goals. Some people, if you're into like manifesting or law of attraction, a lot of people really focus intentionally during that time. Others like to make vision boards or write out affirmations for the coming year, thinking about exactly how you want your life to look like for the coming year. From now until April 11th is a great time to declutter and, get rid of junk around your house, donate some things, get things organized and cleaned. Also clean out your emotional life, clean out yourself, declutter mentally as well. If there are negative or toxic situations or people or thoughts that you have hanging around, if it's possible to declutter those, definitely something to think about so that you can make some space for some fresh new beginning energy coming in. So I've already shuffled all of the cards and I laid them out before I started filming so that I didn't have to torture you by watching me shuffle. And we're going to get started and we're going to look at your own energy for the month of April. And we have the devil. All right. So devil card. So no, you're not going to get eaten by the devil or anything like that. For some of you, sometimes the devil is simply just really raw, passionate, sexy energy. And if that is what resonates with you, then absolutely, take that and run, right? But the devil card is also about a lot of unhealthy attachments and addictions to things. And, addiction's not just like drugs and alcohol. They're definitely part of it. It can be addiction to an unhealthy way of treating your body, an unhealthy way of eating. It could be addictions to people, addictions to situations, addiction to working too much, addiction to watching way too much Real Housewives. That would be me. But things definitely that, that don't benefit you at all and can weigh you down and keep you keep you stuck and stagnant. So we're thinking about, like I said before, releasing a lot of that energy and getting rid of some of that, old energy and decluttering those things and being released from all that, right? So definitely something to think about this coming month. What has got you held back? What has you feeling like you're chained down? What things can you work through? The devil also speaks a lot to your mindset and worries and doubts and anxieties and things that you really deeply fear that may hold you back from taking opportunities or seeking out something better. So it's a great time to confront that. And, remember, as I always say, having fears and anxieties are not bad. They don't make you a bad person. I realize in a lot of new age or, whatever culture that the idea of fear is feared a lot and is seen as something negative and shameful, but it's really not. Those things are there for a reason, but what we can do is look at why they're there and, are they overstaying their welcome? And, how can you work through it? And what can you learn from having fears? What can you learn from your self-doubts? What can you learn about yourself and your past and what's brought you to this point, with those fears and doubts and worries and whatnot. So definitely taking stock of the emotional and mental landscape more than anything else and seeing what kind of toxicity you can cut out. External energy that is coming at you. We have the High Priestess. Interesting for external because, she's got a lot of internal energy. I feel for some of you that there's going to be a situation or an event that's really going to trigger your need to listen to that gut feeling. And I say this a lot, trust your gut. We all have, intuition. We all have that like deep inner wisdom. But oftentimes it's something that's kind of like pushed out of us or trained out of us. But it's still there. So if you feel yourself, if you're in a situation or you're making decisions and you've got a gut feeling that might be like at odds with what you're thinking, that you think is right, but your gut is telling you something else, really listen to your gut. At the same time, you might be having somebody come in, somebody who that embodies that kind of like wise spiritual wisdom, somebody that you see as more of like a teacher or a mentor, even, that can help you parse through some of the feelings that you're having or some of the situations that you're having. It may be somebody who is able to help you get through some of this energy. It could even be a therapist. Just definitely somebody trusted. But I do feel for some of you, it's like a situation happening to you or around you where you're going to need to rely on that more intuitive side of yourself. Looking at energy that is challenging you this month. And when I say challenge, I've explained this to other people, but I'm not talking about like a negative challenge and something that's trying to harm you or get in your way. It's more like, the way a personal trainer challenges you to like, do more squats or something, something that motivates you. And, that a good challenge. And we have, I say good challenge, and it's the Three of Swords. All right. The Three of Swords. So, okay. So I'm looking for a good challenge here, right? I just said that. And so you're thinking, oh, wow, how can the Three of Swords be a good challenge? I think for most of these readings that I've done, everyone's gotten at least one of like the scary cards. And so when you see the Three of Swords, you might have like a reaction immediately. So please, deep breath. We're going to get through. How can the Three of Swords be a good challenge? And I'm loving the card from this deck for this reason, for what I'm going to say. I don't know if you can see it, but this is my favorite Three of Swords for any of the decks I have. So I want you to look at this like shape here. It looks like a head, like the head and shoulders of a person. And here are their hands. And it's kind of like almost like balled up fists. And then you have this wide open mouth and these looks like two eyes, like just like, held tightly shut. It looks like somebody that is crying, right? Really, really just like, really letting it out. And that's what I'm feeling for you. The challenge is to release, like have a good, heavy emotional release. I feel for a lot of you, there's been a lot of grief and a lot of heartbreak, like that sort of Three of Swords energy that has been kept down deep inside and has been sitting with you deep inside, and you definitely see that with this Devil energy too, holding things deep inside. And, it can definitely stagnate. I say definitely so much, it annoys me. It can certainly, become stagnant energy and, very heavy, burdensome energy. And, you're challenged to release that. And for a lot of you, you might just have to have a good, solid, long cry and just be honest about your feelings and let it flood out of you. Like let the tears come. For others, you might need some scream therapy, going in your car and just screaming, or, if you're alone in the house and can scream, or walk in the middle of the woods, wherever it is, to just like, be this little figure, just open your mouth wide and like let the rage out, let the anger out, let the grief out, let the sadness, let it all out. For others, it's going to look like, writing it out or speaking up or telling people exactly how you're feeling, rather than bottling it out inside anymore, right? It's about allowing this heart to heal from all of these piercings by releasing the emotion. Energy that is helping you this month is the Ten of Wands. Wow, you've got like What's your good challenge? The Three of Swords. What's helping you? The Ten of Wands. All right, so the Ten of Wands. Leo just had this card come up as well. And like I said to Leo, the Ten of Wands is a lot of burden. It can be emotional and mental burdens, just a lot of the responsibilities, especially that you're carrying, the things that you feel that you have to do and take care of, and you're shouldering a lot. And you can see this guy has, or this lady, however they identify, has come a very long way carrying all of this with them. And so how is that helpful to you? Like, the helpful advice to you is to again release what you can. Like, where can you get help with these burdens again? So that release, that Three of Swords energy, and even this High Priestess High Priestess energy. As I said to Leo, the word delegate pops up. If you have a lot of responsibilities that maybe you yourself don't necessarily have to do, like speaking of physical tasks or, work tasks, those sorts of things, if you can delegate some of those things out to other people and just to relieve yourself of some of that responsibility, you may have taken on a lot of work because you were trying to be helpful. And it was something that at the time you thought you could do. And then you realize, you know what, I actually can't. And you might need to set a boundary and, spread some of that work out among other people. For others, it's going to be, again, like I said, with this Three of Swords energy, maybe finding somebody that you can talk to and let them know, what is challenging you, what's causing you like a lot of, those heavy feelings, and, start taking the power away from that by speaking about it, and you may find that this High Priestess is the one to help you relieve some of that burden as well. Again, Ten of Wands are, the 10 is the completion of a cycle. So some of that energy is coming to an end. So some of that like burdens and stuff is going to become a bit lighter. Energy that, or your hopes and fears for the coming month, we've got the Tower. Wow. Virgo, what is going on? 4 major arcana cards, and they are heavy. Like, you've got a lot of stuff changing this month, and it's definitely not easy, but eventually is beneficial. So the Tower card is coming in as hopes and fears. So again, just like the Three of Swords, you may be seeing the Tower and it's like, no, but it's not exactly something truly happening to you, if that makes sense. This is in you. The Tower card comes when there's stuff going on in our life that no longer fits in our life. And sometimes we no longer fit into certain situations where we're trying so hard to fit in. And, the Tower, that energy just comes to knock you down. And that can be very fast and hard and uncomfortable and, definitely not easy to go through. But the reason it does it is it's like trying to force you to become grounded and force you to acknowledge like the reality of the situation where things are no longer fitting in your life, or, maybe something that's been going on for so long is now like on a very shaky foundation and just can't stand anymore and needs to come down. Speaking of that Aries New Moon energy and of decluttering and clearing out before we get to the 11th, that's that energy too, like getting rid of like that old nasty energy that no longer helps you in any way, that's no longer working out for you. And it's not just energy. I mean, it's everything is energy, but it's not just abstract terms, like people, situations, that sort of thing. They could be stuff that don't, that cause your Tower to come down, right? So, with hopes and fears, it's worrying about this moment happening too. But for some of you, you may be hoping, oh my God, you may be hoping for that moment as well. You might just say, you know what, I just want to get rid of all this shit. And, it could be like, in your house that you're just deciding to go on a massive decluttering spree. You're tired of seeing things. You're ready for a change. It can be as simple as that. Some of you can be confronting, this devil energy rather aggressively and saying, I don't want to live this way anymore. I don't want to think this way anymore. And you were just like, it's got to happen. And, you're working very hard to get rid of it. But ultimately, you're being grounded. You're being a bit forced to come down to earth and really stand on the ground, stand on the earth, and being able to see exactly what is going on in your life and what's going on around you, and being very realistic about what's happening right now. And with that energy, you're able to then build things up a lot better. So what do we want to avoid for the month of April? We have got the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is normally very enthusiastic energy, somebody that wants to explore and create, very childlike energy. So why would we, we're not avoiding that, but what we're avoiding is, the other aspects with the Page of Wands where it's like being too pessimistic about, future events, or even being lazy, kind of apathetic, not really wanting to go anywhere. And when I say go anywhere, I don't mean like leaving the house. I kind of mean like don't want to go anywhere with your life, or feeling like you can't go anywhere with your life. And so it's kind of trying to avoid being sucked into that thinking, not letting this devil energy come back, with his, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, this sucks, that sucks, that sort of energy, trying your best to like not allow that to weigh you down as much. And I know that's easier said than done. So sometimes for a lot of people, it's just taking tiny little small steps and maybe thinking, okay, not confronting all of that at a time, but maybe just confronting one little aspect of something that you fear and something that you worry about, but it's definitely about avoiding like the pessimism and the apathy towards the future. And looking at a final piece of advice for April of 2021, we have the Knight of Wands. Beautiful. Finally, a nice, happy card. I mean, Page of Wands is lovely as well. So is the, we're going to say they're all nice cards for right now because they're helping you. So the Knight of Wands is going for what you want. Really just saying, this is what I want to do. These are my passions. These are my ideas, and taking action and moving towards it. This isn't passive energy. So, when I'm talking about like setting the intentions, on April 11th and setting goals, that sort of thing. So the Knight of Wands has taken that intention, has taken those goals and is putting them into action, taking the steps to reach those goals, so if you say, I have an intention to get a lot stronger, the Knight of Wands is saying, okay, I'm going to go get myself some dumbbells or go to the gym, and I'm going to start doing this sort of workout in order to get myself stronger. Or you set an intention to have a career change. So the Knight of Wands is saying, okay, I'm going to go look up programs, maybe where I need more training in order to have this career change, or I'm going to update my resume, so the Knight of Wands has taken that intention and is putting it into action, and is definitely following those goals and following those passions. And the Knight of Wands, I do usually say with him, he can be very fast moving energy, charging full speed ahead, like I got a goal, I am moving towards it, I'm going for it. And with that, you want to keep your eyes open and make sure that you're just watching the road ahead of you. Okay. And making sure that you're not getting tripped up by anything outside of outside of your view towards that future, if that makes sense. And then upcoming energy, the King of Wands. Oh, good. So the King of Wands, very stable energy, very secure energy. The King of Wands, somebody, very effective leader, somebody who's inspiring to a lot of people. Definitely a good leader. Somebody who has, taken. You have a lot of Wands energy here. Somebody's taken their ideas, put them into action, and is now enjoying the fruits of that, right? So it's almost like intentions and exploring, taking the action and enjoying it, right? Enjoying the fruits of that that labor. But there's a lot of security and stability with the King of Wands. King of Wands is also organized and very determined as well. So he's not, while he's able to sit there and enjoy, being king, also not very passive energy. Somebody who's still working, he works for his people. He's an effective leader and he's inspiring. He's not like a tyrant, but he has a lot of authority, so as upcoming energy, that's good. There's that stability that's coming in with the King of Wands, that, that stability that comes from taking advantage of this energy here of going for those goals, going for those dreams, connecting with those passions and really taking action with them, that brings stability, and that, brings you from somebody who is stuck in this headspace and needing to release and needing to, maybe rely on gathering help, to somebody who is, definitely seen as an inspiration, definitely seen as a leader. For some of you, there could be like a change within your career orientation that's putting you on a path where you're in a little bit more like control, or you're more in a leadership position. But lovely energy, coming up. And looking at your oracle cards, we have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So it's just a reminder that even through some of this really, really tough shit, it is teaching you something. And that's such a platitude. Like, oh, we're going through hard times, we're learning things, but it's true. Going through all of these moments is building you up and strengthening you and teaching you a lot. And with that, you are able to be, like this King of Wands, you're able to be an inspiration to others. And get grounded. Wow. So that was that Tower card. You've got to get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature, not natures. A lot of times, a lot of people are extremely sensitive, and it's easy to kind of get caught up in the fray with, your own emotional turbulence and then other people's drama, and, whether or not they're trying to pull you in or not. It's very easy to get swept up in all of that and have it affect you. And so this is a reminder, if you can, to take time to ground yourself. Maybe meditate, or pray, or, get out there in nature, take a walk, whatever works for you and kind of helps you clear your mind and clear that space in your head and your heart, so that you can get grounded again and protect your own energy. All right, Virgo. So yeah, rough stuff in here, but we're working with it and we're working through it as well. And there's a lot of strength in you to get through this. Okay, so remember to release and remember to charge ahead, charge forward. And through all of this, you are a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And for some people, you are that light at the end of the tunnel as well. For some reason, that just popped in my mind like that. So I hope this resonated for you, and I am sending you tons of love and blessings. I hope that you are all safe. I hope that you are all happy, and I hope that you are all very healthy. And if you have any questions or you need anything clarified, please just let me know. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you next month. Bye-bye.